Hey guys, welcome back to Sports with Mono and Mono. It's November 22nd, 2025. I'm here with our co host, Eli Weintraub. Eli, good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and have a happy Thanksgiving to everybody coming up. It's a Thanksgiving season that's coming up, and of course, Christmas is here. We got the wreath up, so it's time
Yeah.
as usual. And as always, we're going to get the show started as usual with the monologue sponsored by Coriano Trucking of Summer Hill, New York.
And you have the honors this week, my friends. Take it away.
Alrighty, so this week a massive deal just broke through with the Major League Baseball and many major media companies. At this point, they have now tied with the NFL in terms of the amount of streaming partners that they have in the national base. This doesn't include the local markets either. That is the crazy part. I'm gonna get to the graphic in just a little bit. Just to give you a heads up about what the NFL has and what MLB has. NFL has ABC and ESPN, NBC and Peacock, CBS and Paramount Plus, Fox, NFL Network, Amazon, and Netflix. Now, the deals just got even bigger in the MLB. And before I get to that, uh, here's the graphic, and let's talk about it.
Huh?
ESPN, Netflix, Apple TV, TBS, NBC, Fox, and MLB Network. What we just saw here this week was Netflix and NBC joining the crew of the Major League Baseball. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit on what exactly each deal intends to. We'll begin with ESPN. Well, ESPN lost the rights to Sunday Night Baseball. That moves over to NBC. Instead, they will now get MLB TV, which is the streaming package where you could see every single local game that's not on a national basis. So they'll have full rights and control of that. They
Hmm.
will also be home to the Little League Classic as per usual, and they will get a smaller package in terms of MLB games. We'll get at least 30 plus regular season games for a weekday basis, non-weekend.
Hmm.
ESPN Radio will remain the on ESPN Radio's package will remain the same on ESPN, which means all of the coverage that we saw on ESPN Radio, including the World Series, MLB postseason, All Star Game, Home Run Derby, and the Sunday night games, that will remain on ESPN Radio. No effect to the ESPN Radio side of things. ESPN will remain the home to Baseball Tonight, which is its iconic studio show. Over to Netflix. Netflix gets into this fun deal, and we've been talking about this. That Netflix is trying to up its game in the sporting industry, and they're trying to grow even further. Well, Netflix adds to the deal. They'll get one opening night game a year. This year, it's going to be the Yankees and the Giants on March 25th. They will also get the rights to the Home Run Derby and the special event game of a year, which will be, in this case, Field of Dreams. Apple TV Plus will remain the home to Friday Night Baseball throughout the regular season. TBS will remain the home for the League Championship Series, Division Series games, and Tuesday night regular season games. NBC gets into the mix, and here's where things get interesting. MLB Draft Round 1, which was originally on ESPN, now goes to NBC and Peacock. The rest of the rounds will be on NBC Sports Network, which just came back on the air, and Peacock and MLB Network. The future game on July 12th will also go to NBC Sports Network and NBC in itself. And NBC will also get the rights to Sunday Night Baseball, which was originally ESPN. Now, keep in mind, there's contractual obligations that NBC cannot air every Sunday night game. So when those cases happen, which will be the early months of the season, they will be on NBC Sports Network and Peacock. And then probably after July, it'll remain fully on NBC, the full Sunday night package and slate of games. The wildcard series moves to NBC. They will also get the opening day and Labor Day games, including Dodger Diamondbacks, which is the opening day game. Fox, nothing changes. They'll still be the home World Series, the League Championship Division Series, the All Star Game, the World Baseball Classic, and special event games. MLB Network, same thing, remains the same. They will continue to air live games throughout the season. They will be the home to the MLB Draft and studio shows and programming for the league and its game. Pretty much major breakthrough in the MLB.
Hmm.
A lot of deals, too much to even process if you think about it. Um, and they're trying to compete with the MLB now and the NFL now in terms of how many national partners can they have minus the local television.
Wow. I mean, I thought Major League Baseball did a pretty decent job with the coverage this year was on like TBS and TNT
Hmm.
and those kind of
Yep.
things. So this is
Yep.
that's a lot of information right there.
It is a lot of information, But that just goes to show you how the MLB wants to make sure that the fans are still relevant to the game, that they're still involved in the game, and that more national coverage is seen and not so much local. By adding Netflix, Apple TV, TBS, NBC, Fox, MLB Network, and ESPN to the deal, it's really a game changer. Now, some of these are the same from last year, but NBC and Netflix are the new guys into town. So this is pretty big.
Well, does that affect anything to do with like Yes and the
Nope.
Yankees?
The only thing that it affects is now there's going to be more games on national television, as you will. But it all depends on, how many each team gets. Not every team is going to get a ton of media package deal. They're not going to be on NBC as often, Apple TV. It all depends on how they schedule. But if you're a popular team, obviously like the Yankees and the Dodgers, you're going to be pretty much on pretty much every single one of those channels if you think about it.
Wow.
At one point
Because
in the season.
because I know a lot of like from a Yankees perspective, they broadcast the Tuesday like Wednesday or Thursday
Wednesdays on
games.
Amazon. Yep.
Yeah, or
That stays the same. The local packages, that's local, but now for the national wise, that's what we see.
Wow. Okay. That's good stuff. Good detail right there.
Yeah.
You are our media guru, that's for sure.
Two other things before I go off the monologue. Before I get to the comments, as usual, you can call in live. You can scan the QR code, click on the link in the chat or in the Facebook post that we just sent out. Click on the link, join in live. You could ask a question, join the conversation, or call in to give your thoughts. If you have any issues, of course, you could Facebook me at Elijah Weintraub and DM me if you have any questions. Again, QR code, it's in the link there.
Wow, it worked out really well last week. I got some real positive feedback, so would love for you to hear some comments. I know
Absolutely.
William's probably waiting in the wings to ask us a question.
All right. We have a couple comments though from Derek. He says, "Good morning. Tune in bright and early."
Thank you, Derek. I appreciate it. I missed our daily interactions about sports and stuff. I know you're in a great place with Indiana football, man.
And Guy Coriano.
I know you're happy about that. Yeah.
And Guy Coriano checks in and says, "Hello, boys." Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's love to hear from our sponsors.
Absolutely. So let's go to the NFL because I think, of course, that's the sport that everybody wants to hear, everybody wants to talk about, and that's, of course, the most engaged, sport, as you will.
Yeah, and regarding the NFL, I mean, it's really almost impossible to even predict like who's a favorite, who's not a favorite. We're seeing things going on like the Chiefs are 5-5 now. The Ravens came out of nowhere, so maybe they're back. But even the NFC, I mean, outside, normally you would give the nod to the Philadelphia Eagles being the defending champs and so forth, but they don't seem overly impressive. They're not blowing teams out. They're scoring very little points. So, I mean, I think right now, if you're looking at the NFC, right now the Rams seem to be the best team in the NFC. And I don't know that there's a clear team. I mean, I was all in on the Buffalo Bills. And I talked to somebody who's a diehard Bills fans, and he says, the offense is not the same offense that they had like last year. And you could see that their wide receiver core is kind of decimated and it's affecting Josh Allen's play. So, I mean, they went in, they lose Sunday. What was it? Thursday night they lost. Yep. So I don't even know what to make of this about who's the front runner here.
You know what, Jim? There is no answer. And I'll be quite honest with you. Why? Well, if you look at the entire week from last week, the Chiefs lost last week to the Broncos. And we thought the Chiefs, and we didn't think the Broncos even stood a chance in that game. Heading into when we talked about it in our predictions and everybody was mentioning it, we were all surprised about that one. Another loss we didn't see coming. Eagles won, but the score wasn't impressive last week versus the Lions. Are they the front runner? Obviously, they're going to win the division, no question about it. But are they for real? In the NFC West, it's kind of interesting because Rams definitely show that they are the best team, but Seattle also is in the mix too, if you think about it. I mean, last year was a close game. Maybe, if they keep winning these next couple of games, and depending on how the Rams do, maybe they could win the division. We don't know how that could go. We look at the 49ers, for example. They won last week. Maybe they're still potentially in the running for a playoff spot. That's how we have to look at it. It's a very interesting, bracket right now, and interesting standings that we see right now. There's no clear team. Buffalo, again, they won last week. But it was are they for real though? That's the big question.
Yeah.
We have to ask
I
ourselves.
mean, I guess we could call it parity, right? I mean, maybe that's good. There's no clear-cut winner, but
yeah, but
know.
there is no clear-cut winner. And again, the North just opened up because last week Aaron Rodgers, our friend, he got hurt. So he's going to be out likely this week. We don't know how long for. Then you have the Ravens. And then that's it. Browns and Bengals, they're pretty much done. Their season, they don't really stand a chance really in the postseason run. But that one's opened up. Indianapolis, front runner for sure in the South. I think that's the clear winner to win the division. I don't know if we can say anything else, but they're going to be the winner, and the Eagles are going to be the winner. I think we can clarify on those two right here.
Well,
the
you
West
could
is
see
obvious. It's
also,
crazy.
I think Daniel Jones is hurt, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be playing this week. Is Aaron Rodgers definitely out this
I believe
week?
he's definitely out, but I will double check that for sure.
Oh, okay. That could affect my one of my picks of the week. Yeah, so I think that's good. Look, there's some big names
right now
hurt.
questionable, but I think it's going to be likely that he will not play.
Okay. Yeah, you see a lot of it. Like Penix is hurt, and Stroud is hurt, and Johnson for the Eagles is hurt, and yeah, I didn't actually get an update on Rodgers. I know it's his non-throwing hand,
Yes,
or his wrist, but
it's still a big deal.
yeah,
Couple comments. Derek says, Jim, I want to hear your thoughts on the Bills. Looks like they're heading the wrong direction. Can't let your star QB get sacked 8 times.
Yeah, well, I this is what I was just touching on a little bit a while ago. I mean, for me, the Buffalo Bills were my clear favorite to go to the Super Bowl, and I don't know what's going on there. It's hard to explain. And if Josh Allen gets sacked 8 times, like Derek mentioned, I mean, that's now you got to start to wonder: do they have some holes in that?
Yeah.
I know a lot of the Bills fans are saying that their wide receiver core, and I think Dalton was hurt, so there were injuries. I mean, there's still a quality team. Josh Allen is still, he's worth a touchdown by himself. But you're right; they are absolutely struggling with other teams in this league. I don't know what to say.
William Max is Daniel Jones out for the Pittsburgh game. I will find out for you. And he does say, good morning, William, and good morning to you too. And I will find out that detail for sure.
Well, Daniel Jones is playing the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe.
Yes.
This week, right?
Indianapolis Colts quarterback Daniel Jones is set to play this week, according to reports.
He's set to play. All right. Mm-hmm. So how about this? Now we have a matchup of Jones and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, has never lost 3 straight games in his career. So this is, we're going to find out, I think.
It's a big game.
If Indianapolis, I mean, it really is a big game for them. So we'll mention.
And Derek asked another question. Do you think the Patriots are legit? No. Listen, they're going to keep on winning games.
Yeah, that's the question that a lot of people are asking. If you look at who they've beaten, I guess the old philosophy is, you beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And if Drake May is this, up and coming star, then I mean, what a difference Mike Vrabel has made for that team. They were an absolute disgrace last year and the year before, and Belichick's last year. He's turned it around. Are they legit? I mean, their record says they are.
Keep in mind, and we brought that up, Jim, just moments ago. They're playing these weaker teams, and the teams that they're supposed to be beating, and that's how they're looking like a perfect team. But what happens in the playoff run? Because as we know, if Buffalo is in the playoffs, which they likely will, Kansas City's in the playoffs, and you got to play those matchups, and even Indianapolis, because Indianapolis has been pretty good. What happens then when this is a legitimate team, a really good contender who's been playing really good the entire season? Then what happens? And they're built for the playoffs. What happens
Yeah.
then? Are they the for real deal, or are they just getting lucky because they're playing these weak teams? That's the question. They haven't
Yeah.
played a real big competition where I can say, yeah, you know what? I can trust this Patriots team. Right now, I can't
Mm.
trust them. They can win
Yeah.
games. Yeah, I can trust them there, but I don't know.
Well, we're going to find out soon enough if they're for real because they have a couple of tough games coming up, I believe. So,
And William Max, who's the favorite in the Kansas City Colts game? Kansas City's favored by 3.5. Looks like for this week.
wow, I didn't even know that. I mean, that's one of my picks this week, the Kansas City Indy game, which is, this could set the stage for, who's legitimate and who's not in the AFC. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to jump off the Bills bandwagon. I think Josh Allen has the ability to overcome some of these shortcomings. He's just going to have to improvise. I mean, last week he threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for 3 touchdowns. He's a serious player. I'm not jumping off the Bills bandwagon right now.
I mean, depends on who they play. It really all comes down to and how they play. Last week they got a big win, of course, with Buccaneers. But what happens going forward? What happens, in the longer run? That's what we have to keep in mind. The Bills, by the way, they lost this week too, but to the Texans on Thursday night. Let's keep that in mind too. They beat the Buccaneers. Great, let's celebrate. They lost to the Texans on Thursday night.
I know they. Hey, maybe Davis Mills is an adequate backup because Stroud has been in and out. He's dealing with a concussion, I think, as well.
And I like this
I
comment
know.
from
Are they
Derek.
going to go for it with Davis Mills? Go ahead, Eli.
He says, this is the first year in the NFL in a long time that there is no clear favorite. We brought it up, and he is absolutely correct.
Spot on. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
All
right, Eli. Well, why don't we?
I have a couple other notes before we get off. I just want to get to a couple notes. Shedeur Sanders is set to start this weekend for the Browns versus the Raiders. So we'll see how he does, and we'll have to keep an eye out on him. Titans Calvin Ridley broke his fibula out for the season, and Commanders signed kicker Jake Moody. And a scary incident that we saw this week for Jets Chris Boyd, who was badly injured after being shot in New York this past week. He is in stable condition, still hospitalized at the moment.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up in random points, but you're right. And you look at this now. I mean, the Giants now, Jackson Dart again. This concussion, Eli. I don't know why this is happening time and time and time again. It's crazy. If you looked at that hit that he took, it really wasn't anything that I would have considered something that would have caused.
I want somebody to define to me properly, maybe in NFL terms, what exactly happens in this situation with the concussion injury. What goes on a player? Why are they supposed to be signed? I mean, Google says so much, but I want to hear from like a doctor why. Because I'm just because I mean,
obviously the season
happening a lot. Yeah.
But you really want to see him get as much playing time and experience as he can. So when we turn over a new leaf with a new head coach and hopefully with a new general manager next year.
Yeah. Jim is a big fan of Sanders. Derek says.
No, I'm not. I don't see him as a legitimate NFL quarterback. I think that's going to get exposed rather quickly. I mean, even though, the Cleveland Browns are an absolute mess. I mean, I don't know what Stefanski's doing by having, when the season started, they had 5 quarterbacks and now they're down to their 5th quarterback, right? After trading Flacco and so forth. And Dylan Gabriel doesn't look like he's the answer, so forth. He's out actually, so that's what's putting Sanders in. Let's see what he has. Whether it was the right thing to bypass him. A lot of people had him going in the top 10 of the NFL draft, and he falls to the 7th round. Got to be a reason for that. We'll find out.
And by the way, before we get to our picks, again, you can still call in. You can join the conversation. Scan the QR code or click on the link to call and ask your question or give your thoughts. Let's go ahead and look at that big standings chart. Well, you still got the lead. You still got the lead. Here's the confetti. You still got the lead. 20-15 is where you stand. I went 9-16 in my overall record. Last week, we both went 1-2. 1-2. So we're neck and neck almost. So we're almost there.
Oh,
I'm gonna
some
count
reason
back.
I thought I had a 2-game lead.
No, it was
All right.
you went only 1-2 this week.
Hey, listen, you're respectable.
Yes,
Respect.
I'm being respectful. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. You know, the crown's gonna be mine,
Got
as
it.
we
We
all
got
know.
it.
It's
We
coming back to me.
well,
Uh,
we'll see. All right, Eli. Let's do our
so go ahead.
picks
Why
for
don't you
the
give your
week
pick?
here.
Yeah, go ahead. Go give your
Okay.
picks.
First game, and all right, and this is finding out. I didn't know Aaron Rodgers was out, but Pittsburgh, Chicago, and I am not actually a believer in the Chicago Bears. The question comes up: are they good or are they just lucky? They've gotten a few wins with some crazy plays and so forth. So I'm going to stick with Pittsburgh this week. I don't. It doesn't matter whether Rodgers plays or not. Who's the backup? Mariota? Is that who's the backup?
Yes, that is right. Yep.
Marcus. Yeah. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh. And yes, I think the game of the week is definitely Indianapolis at Kansas City. And you guys know my feelings. I I can't seem to get my Patrick mix consistent. I don't know. He's playing games with me, but I'm going to take Kansas City to beat Indianapolis. And you know what? I hope Indianapolis gives them a good game, but Kansas City is home. Mahomes has never lost 3 games in a row, so I'm going to take that game. And
Yeah,
my
he did
final
not
game is
early
Philadelphia,
on in the
Dallas.
season.
Yeah, this might surprise a lot of people, but you know, the NFL is almost impossible. That's why I tell people keep your money in your pocket. You're not going to win betting NFL games. So it's Philadelphia is the clear more talented football team, but I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys at home this week in an upset. That's how I feel about it.
Tom
So to
Pugh says
recap,
before. Oh, go ahead.
Pittsburgh,
Give your recap.
Kansas
Go ahead.
City, Dallas. All right, give me your picks, Eli.
All right. Tom says no clear winner, no clear leader in the NFL picks world. You got that right.
But there
And
is
you
a
know what?
leader.
Let's get this party started. Here we go. We begin with Colts Chiefs, 1 o'clock on CBS. Yes, absolutely the game of the week. Who's going to win? Well, you know what? Never bet against Patrick Mahomes is the message, obviously, correct? Well, I'm going to bet against Patrick Mahomes. Give me the Indianapolis Colts. I look for them to get a big, massive victory, 26-24 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Go Daniel Jones.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. We go now to
Didn't see
Eagles.
that coming.
Eagles, Dallas. They're in Dallas, 4:25 on Fox. The afternoon game of the week, as you will. Really interesting game. But you know what? I can't trust Dallas. I never did. Never will. And Philadelphia is winning these games, sticking to it strong. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia. 27-24.
Okay.
Last game, Buccaneers Rams, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 on NBC. What happens here? Well, both these teams, Rams
Bucks
got a
at
big
Rams.
yeah, Bucks at the Rams. The Rams, well, they got a win last week against Seahawks. Disappointed. The Buccaneers took a bad loss. What happens here? Rams will get a victory here. 28-22. That's what I think.
Mhm.
So I'm going with Indianapolis, Rams, and Eagles. And Jim, I don't wish you good luck.
Thank you. That's good sportsmanship there.
Couple comments.
This is
Go ahead.
that is an interesting game because the way the NFL is, you just can't figure it out. So yeah, the logical choice to weigh Stafford, probably the leading candidate for the MVP right now.
Yeah.
But I kind of like Baker Mayfield's, his fortitude. I look for them to bounce back. Obviously, it's not one of my picks, but
Right.
this is when you bet the NFL, you have to expect the unexpected, and
Absolutely.
we'll see how that goes. All right, so we're gonna make some headway in that
Oh yeah.
battle for the crown.
Oh yeah. So good luck as always. It's Mason Rudolph for the Steelers. Miles Garrett is his best friend.
Oh boy.
Oh yes,
No.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's the holiday season. Yes.
Yeah, I don't get much. I don't have much confidence in Mason Rudolph, but I'm going to stick with anyway. So
All right, it's locked in. And Tom says, "Say no, Eli. Patrick and Travis are not happy with you." Yeah, I know. Whatever. We'll see about that after next week.
well, I would assume that Mr. Pugh is going to the game this week to see Patrick
Maybe a
Mahomes.
Taylor
So
Swift concert if it comes back.
maybe she could sing at halftime or something.
Ha. Let's go.
All right, Eli.
College football.
Let's go to college football. Yep. Start us off there. Where's game day today?
Game day is in Oregon because that is a big game. USC Oregon today, 3:30 on CBS. That is happening this afternoon. There's a lot of big games. Let's start with the 12 o'clock window. Rutgers, Ohio State. That's the Fox game this week. And Missouri, Oklahoma on ABC. Those are the two big games of the 12
Yeah.
o'clock window. 3:30 loaded. You have USC Oregon, Syracuse Notre Dame, Kentucky Vanderbilt, and Arizona Texas. Big games there. 7:30. Tennessee, Florida, Illinois, Wisconsin, and then tonight 10:30 on NBC. If you're up late, you got Washington and UCLA. Another big game to watch out for. A big
Yeah.
day loaded in college football.
Yeah, but one thing. So I was looking at this, and the top teams like Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama, pretty much cupcake games for them. I mean, they should handle Rutgers with ease at home. But Georgia's playing Charlotte, and Alabama's playing Eastern Illinois. I mean, I don't. Normally, those are games that are in the earliest part of the season, but I don't know why they would schedule a game like that. But we wanted to go back to last week. Oklahoma actually beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and Alabama, they were I in the game most of the time. I mean, Simpson, not only did he throw those 2 interceptions, but he threw his Heisman Trophy candidate out the door as well. So that was really the only upset that I saw last week. But I did get Georgia, Texas right. Certainly got Notre Dame beating Pitt. That was a good game too. Yeah, so I do better in college than I have been doing in the NFL.
Well, we haven't been doing too great in the NFL, but here we have a couple comments. William says, "Who is the surprise game today?"
Surprise game. I think the game last night, actually, Florida State lost again. That team, is amazing. Like, I mean, they're 5-6, but they're only 2-6 in the ACC. So that's, but the big, so maybe from a surprise game, Georgia Tech pick. I'm picking that as a surprise game. Now Georgia Tech wins, but I think they've been winning all season. They have a pretty good record, but I think Pittsburgh has a chance to upset them today. That's going to be my college football, William, upset special of the week.
All righty, and we have trap game Arkansas, Texas from Brandon Commonly.
Yeah, no, Texas is they're not the team that everyone expected them to be, but they're going to handle Arkansas. Arkansas is an absolute mess.
Weak SEC schedule, Tom says.
Yeah, it is.
I'm the last one for
Illinois and Alabama.
Right. Yeah. And the last one for college football before we get off, James Franklin to become new head coach at Virginia Tech.
There's one that happened, and we have to talk a little bit about this whole Lane Kiffin situation. I'm a little perplexed here. What's going on? I don't know when Lane Kiffin all of a sudden became Nick Saban, and he's the must-have coach. But I believe he's under contract, yet he's still negotiating with LSU. It looks pretty much like he's going to take the LSU job. Yep. But I don't think so. It was between that and Florida. But yeah, the college coaching carousel, we call it, has been interesting. So I consider the James Franklin going, that's a step down for me. I would have thought that, he would have been in contention for the Florida job, but I guess this whole Lane Kiffin factor is riding. Maybe that's the decision. He didn't want to wait. But
Yeah, I
that's
guess.
I try to look at. I mean, Lane Kiffin's done a great job at Mississippi, no question about it.
No question. Yep.
Um, he's made them, they're going to be in the college football playoffs, no question about that. But I don't know if he's, and the funny thing is, Eli, with LSU, and they had to buy out Brian Kelly for like $50 million. I think that's still going to be worked out in the courts, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to make Kiffin the highest paid football coach in college football. And I don't know that his resume, to be quite honest, warrants that. So if that goes down the tubes, LSU's got to take a good look at themselves and say, what are we doing? Yeah.
Derek says no IU this week, which stinks. And Tom says, how about Lane? Which I think we just brought up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, like I said, I don't understand why he's the hottest property out there, but he's going. It sounds like he's going to LSU. Clearly. All right, Eli.
All right, then.
First of all, we got it. We can't go off
football without talking about the game.
Yeah, there's a game. So the high school football game, and at these picks right, Don Bosco is clearly the number one team in New Jersey right now. They won. They beat Bergen Catholic last night pretty handily. And St. Joe's went into St. Peter's last night and avenged the early season loss.
Mm-hmm.
They win. So they're gonna face off in MetLife Stadium on Friday night coming up this week, day after Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
And but that's a big task for St. Joe's. I mean, obviously, you know who I'm pulling for.
I don't know. Who are you pulling for?
I'm pulling for St. Joe's, but they're going to have to play almost a flawless game to beat Don Bosco this coming week. Yes. But actually, great football. So I don't know what the parking situation, whether they charge you. I don't know what they charge you to go to the game or whatnot. But either way, I'll be there for sure.
All right. Well, before we go to some random points, let's talk some soccer. I know Diego's gonna be happy about this one because 42 teams have just entered a spot, have just earned a spot into this next year's World Cup, including USA, Mexico, and Canada. Full list is available. I can, if you want a particular team, let me know. I could shout it out to you. I have the list in front of me. The World Cup draw, which will determine which group they'll play in for the group stage and all that, that'll take place on December 5th on Fox. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. And we also have an exciting NCAA Cup happening, which is the March Madness for soccer, as you will in college soccer world. For the New Jersey schools, Princeton's still in it. They'll take on Duke tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And Seton Hall is still in it. They'll take on Bryan tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the NCAA Cup. Tomorrow begins the second round of the NCAA Cup. It's an exciting time right now. Indiana's in it. They're at number 6. And we have a lot of great teams still in it. Seton Hall played a phenomenal game on Thursday, and they even went to penalty kicks, which was super exciting, and they won that game, earning them their spot to take on Bryan tomorrow. So a big day for college soccer tomorrow, and the World Cup. We're already in the final stages as we near who is going to play who, where are they going to be grouped at, and which stage. And we're one step closer from the World Cup happening right in our own backyard, pretty much.
Oh, well, that bodes well for one of our very loyal listeners, Andrew, who's a Bryant guy. So good luck to them.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to Seton Hall. Who cares about Bryan? It's Seton Hall. William, you can back me up on that one, right?
Wait, you said Seton Hall's playing Bryant? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not rooting for Bryan. Who are you kidding? No, sorry, but
and isn't the National Women's Soccer League final? When is that? Is that tomorrow?
I believe that is tomorrow, and I'll double check for you on that one. I did not know about that actually.
Yeah, I think it is actually.
Let me
find out. That's a good soccer update.
They will have a game the 28th. It says in Orlando versus Italy, on December 1st. So I don't see nothing about a championship yet.
Oh, okay.
They're international friendly matches, I guess. That's what they're ruling.
Friendly matches,
Yeah,
right?
we know how that goes. A couple comments before we go off of soccer. Good morning, guys. Looking forward to Green Friday. Go St. Joe's from Andrew.
You bet, Andrew. As a matter of fact,
And
I'll be going to the game with Andrew, I'm sure. So
all righty. And William says Shabazz won. They beat Westwood 35-0 to advance to state championship in Cedar Grove on a 35-yard field goal versus Butler. All righty. Thanks for that,
ooh,
William.
yeah.
With that, let's go to some random points. That's going to be sponsored by Lynch Toyota of Manchester, Connecticut.
Yeah. I only have a couple
Me
this
too.
week, and one of them was a little disturbing. This Patrick Beverly. I mean, I thought he was a pretty decent player in the NBA, but he was arrested for assaulting his sister of all things, for crying out
No.
loud. I mean, what is going on with these NBA players? It's crazy.
Too
to
much.
me. I don't understand it. But that's a sad thing. And listen, we've talked about this time and time again, but whether or not Ovechkin could actually get to 1,000 goals. I say no, he doesn't have that much time left. He's got about 910 goals now, but he scored a hat trick the other day, and he's one of only 5 other players to score a hat trick in their 40s. And that would be, of course, Jaromir Jagr. You would suspect that. Of course, Gordie Howe. You would expect that. Johnny Busick was the other one. Teemu Solani, who I didn't know he played into his 40s, actually, but he did. And Nicholas Lindstrom for the Red Wings. So that's kind of elite company. But I still say that's too far of a mountain to climb for him to get to 1,000 goals. But
Yeah.
he may play. He may play. For another couple of years. It's going to take him a couple of years if he's going to go for that. But
Yeah.
all right, Eli, give me some random points.
All righty. Well, before I get to my random points, a couple comments. Andrew says, "Go Bryant Bulldogs." Go Seton Hall, Andrew. Eric says, "Happy Thanksgiving to all." Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for tuning in, Eric. And
Yep.
William brought up a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Gotham City is playing in the finals tonight. That is at 8 o'clock on Paramount Plus. They take on the Washington Spirit. That is the women's soccer club, Gotham Football Club. So be sure to check that out tonight, 8 o'clock. So good luck to them.
Oh, see, I did have a little bit of knowledge about this, right?
About a final, yeah.
Is that the championship? Yeah.
That is the
Okay.
final, yes. I thought you were talking about USA. I didn't know about Gotham, but that's two different things. But now we know it's Gotham, and appreciate that for William for giving me the update on that one. So
Thank
random
you, William.
points. The New York Liberty are set to hire Golden State Warriors assistant coach Chris DeMarco to become the Liberty's head coach.
Hmm.
The Lakers.
Still wondering why they fired their
Sandy Brundello. I know, me too. Still sits in the back of my head every day. The Lakers have removed Joey and Jesse Booth as in their front office positions in basketball operations after nearly 20 years.
Yeah, I saw something regarding that. I don't understand that. Yeah, I think they're the sons of Jerry Buss, the owner. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like a little family squabble there, right?
Pelicans have fired Willie Green, head coach, this week.
Yeah.
What else? No.
The
They always fire everybody.
Pelicans have never been relevant.
Nope.
Will be relevant.
And we have a flex in the NFL schedule in Week 14. The Bears-Packers game is now moved to 4:25 p.m. and Bengals-Bills moves to 1 o'clock. So that happened and announced this week. We talked about Jack Hughes' injury last week. We now know he did have surgery on his finger, and it is a finger injury, and he is expected to miss 2 months officially, according to the reports.
Big loss for your Devils.
It is a big loss, and we haven't been doing so good either. And our announcers are calling them Rangers. If you know, you know. Which I'm disappointed about that. Bring back Bill Spalding. NJ.com has removed high school sports schedules and scores from its website, which was announced this week. Both me and you, we were talking about this before. We were disappointed about it. We cannot find NJ.com anymore. Schedules or scores or nothing about that. And according to an AI report, because AI has been pretty active lately, and we asked AI what happened. According to it, it says it no longer has the necessary data. And according to the report, it says its parent company, AP, has an agreement with other platforms like MaxPreps to provide this content, and NJ.com has a history with MaxPreps and they'll be working together in some regard. So you'll still get articles on NJ.com, but you will not be seeing any more scores or schedules on NJ.com's website. You'll have to check Maps Preps. So it's a big loss for us here in New Jersey who try to keep up with NJ. Try to keep up with high school sports. Excuse me.
Yeah, that is. I actually maybe William can lend a little insight as to what went on there. But it was always a good site. I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't read it. They kind of forced you to
pay the
subscribe,
articles, which is fine. Yeah, we knew
Yeah.
that they were going to do that regardless. But
it was definitely the place to go for the weekly matchups and
oh yeah,
ongoing season in all of high school sports in New Jersey. That's a big loss for us.
it is a huge loss
I
for
agree.
us.
I agree.
Well, with that, I have no more notes. So let's go ahead.
I do have
one
one
more?
more from a history perspective. It was 62 years ago on the November 22nd, 1963, that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And I know a lot of people have different theories about it, conspiracy, not conspiracy.
Right.
I consider myself kind of an amateur historian when it comes to that subject in particular. Done a lot of reading, actually been in Dealey Plaza, and it's if it was a conspiracy, how come it's never come out? It's kind of perplexing to me, but I was just a little baby when that happened, but it certainly changed the course of history 62 years ago today.
And William, well, thank you for the update on that one and for bringing us history lesson. William adds a comment: if anyone who's going to MetLife Stadium for the state championship, it's going to be for $40.
Oh, that is outrageous to charge for a high school football game.
No, you're at MetLife Stadium.
I don't care.
That's no. Okay.
It's probably
if you want a cheap price, you're gonna have to go to a cheap stadium somewhere where they could fit a lot of people. But you're playing at MetLife Stadium where the Giants and Jets play on, which even though they're not that great, but they, it's a premier site. Of course, and they're home to the World Cup. You got it. That's for parking, by the way. $40 for parking.
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna say. Is that I bet parking's gonna be $40.
That's the parking. Thank you, William, for the update.
Okay. That is outrageous to me. That's outrageous to me. I'm sorry.
Take the student bus. Take the student bus.
From where?
St. Joe's. They probably have a student bus.
I don't know. Maybe.
Say, can the alumni get on?
I'll have to dig out my old St. Joe's jersey and be an imposter to get on the bus. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's time now for What's Your Recommendation? And the photo segment sponsored by Vital Selection. Scan the QR code to learn more. I got to put that QR code up there.
Okay. I have a recommendation, Eli.
Here it is. Yeah.
So this last Sunday started. I'm a big history guy, and in particular, I'm a big fan of the Ken Burns documentaries that he's done over the course of time. The Civil War is one of the greatest television programs I've ever seen. And this one is on the American Revolution. And I'm 5 episodes in. It's 2 hours each night. And it's absolutely outstanding. And in particular, there's a lot of information because New Jersey was at the forefront for a lot of major battles like Trenton and Princeton and so forth like that. But I couldn't recommend this enough. It's worth watching. It gives a great historical perspective, and it really is just well done. And it goes. We always think, that it was just the 13 colonies and so forth, but there was also across, Britain had other colonies and Barbados and the Caribbean and so forth. But it gives a real good understanding and puts into light, the battle of for independence and so forth. It's an outstanding documentary, and I highly recommend it.
Well, there's a lot of TV to watch this week, and here are the picks that are picking out that we picked out from the week. Well, we just talked about the Golden Girls celebrating 40 years. Everybody Loves Raymond 30th anniversary reunion special. That is Monday at 8 o'clock on CBS with some of the cast that are still present with us. They'll be doing a special on CBS, so you can check that out. Tuesday, from 8 to 11, is the finale of Dancing with the Stars. It's been very popular lately. Got a lot of high ratings from what I heard. So, check that out if you're interested in that.
They didn't get any ratings from me. I can tell
I
you
know.
that.
Wednesday, 8 to 11 on NBC, the countdown to Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and it's Saturday Night Live Thanksgiving Special. And of course, Thursday from 8:30 at 8:30 a.m. on NBC, the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. 99 years. Can you believe that, of the Macy's Parade? And the National Dog Show at 12 o'clock, which follows right after. And of course, all your NFL football games on Thanksgiving.
Wow. Yeah. So absolutely, we want to wish
Happy Thanksgiving as always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Let's go to some photos.
By
Go
the
ahead.
way, what we're gonna miss a couple of games because there's what's the NFL schedule? Obviously, it's always Detroit,
Right.
Dallas.
It's gonna be Detroit Packers at 1 o'clock, Chiefs Cowboys, and Ravens Bengals.
Oh, so there is a night game as well. Right?
There was always a night game. There is always.
Yeah. Most people are asleep from the turkey. That's
Right. And that's
why
on
the night
NBC,
game,
by the
I
way.
don't-
So it is on television, so we can watch it. It's not on Prime Video.
Oh, I
The
thought
Black
that would
Friday
be on-
game is Prime Video.
Ooh. All right. Well, we're gonna have a short slate to pick games for next week. So
I know. By the way, the Black Friday NFL game, which is going to be 3 o'clock on Amazon Prime, that game is going to be Bears Eagles. So yeah, Bears Eagles coming up on Friday.
Yeah, I always assimilated the day after Thanksgiving. There was always a lot of good college rivalry games.
Yes, and
You
there's
know,
still
like
pretty good college
West
football to watch
Virginia,
too.
Pitt, stuff like that. Yeah.
Here's some photos.
Oh, there's a picture of me and at the St. Joe's game last week with Super Bowl champion Devin McCourty,
Ooh.
who is, by the way, just an absolutely nice young man. And I think we're going to have him as a guest on the show. I'm going to work that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And just so the football season wrapping up in the Twin Boroughs for Chester Mendham, and that's my grandson, of course. And here's the annual football dinner, and he's getting the award for the best teammate of the year. So that's a big honor. That says a lot about his character. He's one of the really good players, but he also, he helps with some of the other kids, and he's wonderful. And he's also a basketball player. So, and of course, there's the little guy, Hudson. He's a piece of work, by the way. So
I'm sure. Well, let's go now to some notable passings. We don't have a lot this week, but we do have a couple. Too.
Yeah, we were overwhelmed last week. That's for sure.
Too much.
Yeah, I have two notables. I believe, and one I think you have it. So being a Seahawks fan, you could appreciate it. He's in the Seahawks Hall of Fame. His number's retired, and that's Kenny Easley.
Yes.
And Kenny Easley was he was a safety, a hard-hitting safety.
He didn't win a Super Bowl, but yeah.
I think he's in the Hall of Fame, actually.
Yeah, he is a Hall of Famer. Yep, 2017.
Yeah, only 66 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember him coming out. He was like the fourth pick in the draft when he came out of UCLA. But he was definitely a really good player, no doubt. And I have one other one, which was Randy Jones. Now, I know, Eli, you're not going to be familiar with Randy, but he was the Cy Young Award winner in 1976, and for the San Diego Padres. As his numbers actually retired, so he was just finished his career with the Mets, but he really had two seasons that were just great, and he lost the Cy Young in 1975.
Mm-hmm.
No shame in this. He lost it to Tom Seaver, but then he came back and had a great year in 76. He was 75 years old.
We do have a comment from William. He says, everybody who's going to the state championship game at MetLife on Friday, they have to purchase tickets online via the NJSIAA website. So take note of that, Jim.
So you can't just go to the game and go to
the
window.
You have to purchase tickets online. So visit the website, NJSIAA.
Okay. Bring your wallet. Yep.
Well, no tickets at the game. You have to purchase in advance. You have to purchase before you get there.
Okay. Thanks for the insight, William, because I wouldn't have known that. I thought you can. I've been to previous state championship games in MetLife Stadium, and you could always buy them at the window, but maybe a new policy.
New policy, I guess. You
But
know how it is.
I can't get past this $40 to park a car. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, just make sure you Google before you go to the game, so you and
Yeah.
Andrew don't get locked out.
But listen, Eli,
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yes,
we had a
that's
great
what
show
I
as
wanted.
always.
I wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving as well, and thank you very much for all of your support. And I hope you all enjoy your turkey. And it's really, we have a lot to be thankful for. So that's really the main reason for Thanksgiving. And hope everybody enjoys themselves. And thanks for joining us week after week for the Sports with Mono and Mono show.
Yeah, it really is a great show, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And thanks for tuning in. We will see you all next week at 10.